It's the song that's tearing up the adult contemporary charts. David Shaw featuring John Oates. I can't coach offense.
I can't coach offense, no can do. And our life coach stops by to tell us why 90% of success in life is just showing up. Or in Washington's case, maybe just round up. It's time to wake up, college football! Week 8 is officially in the books, and it was mostly a fun one for most people, perhaps with the exception of all things Florida and Will Muschamp.
Who?
The fans, the crowd, not happy, as you can hear here.
No, I don't know. I don't know who they're talking about.
Strong thoughts about job status and security.
I don't know. Florida's been coached by secret ballot by the players
Is
for the
that what it is?
for the last 4 years.
Players only sideline.
It's really revolutionary. I don't think it's going to work long term.
Right.
And it's probably time to turn away from it. But for now,
smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Smooth sailing. All right. Let's be positive. Let's think about and talk about awesome things. To you, what was the most awesome thing from Saturday?
I don't know if you remember, there was a coach before Will Muschamp
Doesn't
at Florida.
ring a bell. Does not.
I know.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer was his name. Turns out he's at Ohio State, and he has an awesome offense.
Yeah, he does.
Ohio State blows the doors off of Rutgers, ran all over a Rutgers defense that is not amazing, but is perfectly competent.
Right.
Ran all over them. They've scored 50, after that loss to Virginia Tech,
right.
Scored 50 points at least in 4 straight games. First time they've done that in school history.
Yeah.
They have maybe 2 ranked teams left to play, Michigan State, possibly Minnesota, before the Big Ten championship game. And it's one of those things where, they lost at home to the Hokies, and everybody said they're out. They're done. JT Barrett has totally turned it around.
He's a top 5 quarterback. If you look at important metrics right now in the country, granted they haven't really played a big opponent since that Virginia Tech game, but he's done everything you want from a team that should have awesome offense.
By every statistical measure, he's the best quarterback in the conference.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where they lost so early, and he was so new, that maybe they'll get to the end of the year, if they win the conference with the 1 loss to Virginia Tech, people will say, yeah, okay, we're going to give him a shot. It's not the same Ohio State team that lost in, week 4 of the season.
All
3.
fair points. The offense has been simplified, and he's gotten those important reps. My awesome thing, Alabama. Yesterday, holy hell. Nick Saban was like, 14 points is totally cool. And inside, he was like, it is not cool. He was full of shit. And that's okay, because that's Nick Saban.
Yeah.
I love it. Texas A&M, defense, not there. Offense, not there. Special teams, not there. Points, not there. Other than that, Texas A&M's in fantastic shape.
They definitely have jerseys.
They definitely do.
Water.
They have their own stadium.
Do they?
Yeah, it's theirs.
Huh.
The mortgage is it's rolled over.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is super cool to be a homeowner. Most importantly, Alabama really looked in a really good rhythm. Blake Sims, both through the air and on the ground, with the most ridiculous run probably of the day. TJ Yeldon returned to dominant form. Amari Cooper was unstoppable. And Texas A&M beat South Carolina, and that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. They're just in free fall.
Yeah, they are.
It's so bad.
Yes.
I feel like saying any more would just be rude.
Yeah, and to be fair, we expected this to a certain level from their defense, but on this level, very strange. To you, what was unexpected from yesterday?
So West Virginia beats Baylor at home.
Yeah.
Baylor's first loss of the year. I don't think the result was necessarily unexpected. Right. What was definitely not unexpected, Kevin White.
Oh, my God.
He is the best wide receiver in football right now.
Yes, he is.
Nobody stopped him all year. 100 yards in every game. First receiver to 1,000 yards. An amazing talent.
Yeah.
But what was surprising about this game was West Virginia's defense came to play.
Yes, they did.
They held Baylor to 1 touchdown in the second half, their lowest yardage total in 4 years.
Yep.
And
Baylor on the road.
They made them look so ordinary. Shock Lindenwood, totally ordinary.
A week after a big emotional Baylor win, the comeback win against TCU.
Totally ordinary. Bryce Petty looked like average.
This is true.
I didn't see that coming at all. And if they can play that kind of defense the rest of the season, they're going to cause a lot of problems in the Big 12.
And we're going to get into the Big 12 in a second. Yes. My unexpected Utah. We've looked at the Pac-12 as like everybody can beat everybody, or 10 of the 12 teams can beat everybody, and we've looked at UCLA and Oregon and Stanford and the Arizona schools.
Can Stanford beat people?
Well, I didn't say Stanford for a reason at this point after their last night. But what we've now officially overlooked until this moment, Utah, big
strong, angry people on both lines.
Yep.
And even without competent quarterback play, Devontae Booker looked great as the running back against Oregon State on Thursday night. Utah is winning games ugly, 29-23 in double overtime. Perhaps not the offensive output we want from a decent ranked team. But Utah's winning, and they are dangerous with those lines. To go on the road to beat Oregon State, to go on the road to beat UCLA the way they did, they are to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they are kind of the mold of what Stanford wants to be.
Yes.
Where they can just push you around on
Right.
both sides of the ball. Whereas Stanford there's push happening on both
Right.
sides of the ball, it's just happening to them
Yep,
on offense.
and Utah doing it in big moments. To you, what was the most meaningful thing in an eventful Week 8?
I don't know what's going to happen in the Big 12
Okay.
right now. Right now, Kansas State is sitting at the top of the conference. They don't have their only losses out of conference to
Right.
Auburn, but they have to go on the road to still play Baylor, West Virginia, and TCU. West Virginia gets to host a bunch of teams for the end of their schedule,
True.
but they already have 2 losses, only one of them in
Conference to Oklahoma, right.
Baylor's only got 1 loss. They still have some road games to play.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You need some sort of Baylor road alarm.
And then down at the bottom in 5th is Oklahoma right now, the
Right.
team we all thought was going to win the conference.
Still good enough to beat anyone
Absolutely.
left on their schedule.
So there's a lot to play out here, and I think there's a chance that we see a 2-loss team win the Big 12, and maybe that's where it sort of says this is the Power 5 conference
the
that doesn't
one
get a
true
playoff
champion, and they probably won't.
Right.
2 losses,
especially because it could come down to weird tiebreakers and
Yep.
things like that. So the Big 12 is a fun mess. There are a lot of
Absolutely it
good
is.
teams, but it is definitely a mess right now.
Yep, Saturday did nothing to forward the hierarchy. To me, the most meaningful, Florida State, Notre Dame, both sides.
Yeah.
Florida State's ability to beat a good team late the way they did. Obviously, the penalty was a huge killer for Notre Dame at the end of the game, but penalties go both ways.
Yep.
It was very clearly a rub, a pick, whatever,
Yeah.
an illegal pass interference. The fact that Notre Dame was so good offensively against a Florida State defense that has struggled and is not Florida State's defense from last year, but Notre Dame and their ability to hang in this game, to push Florida State around on both sides of the ball, that's meaningful because we hadn't seen that from Notre Dame all season long against a really good team. It was low scoring against Stanford. And Florida State just surviving. Couldn't run the ball at all, and the fact that the big uneven matchup of this game with Florida State was Jimbo against Notre Dame defense coordinator Brian Van Gorder in the second half wasn't fair.
Yeah, they made
fair.
all the right adjustments.
Yeah.
All of the pressure that they were
Florida
getting.
State won halftime.
All the pressure that they were getting in the first half disappeared in the second half
Yep.
because they were learning how, we're going to move a tight end here, running back here, start chipping these blitzing defenders.
Yep.
And that gave them time to open up the passing game, get enough going in the run game. And at the end, it was just, a little inches here, inches there.
Yep.
Great game overall.
The thing I took, Florida State, very good, a little bit susceptible. Notre Dame, very good, a little bit susceptible.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
totally cool. 2 great teams that are very clearly top 10. And finally, let's go back to West Virginia. Let's do that. Huge win at home. You know what that means.
Burnin'!
People are getting excited with Flames. I like the happiness. This guy's a little bit upset, but I understand the passion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just as long as it doesn't get out of hand. Oh, God.
Oh.
You can't do that, West Virginia. Act like you've been there before. Be cool. God. That guy's name is Ryan. My name is Dan. We'll see you next week.